2026, St. Patty's Day. If you'll join me as we open every meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this is the notice of the appellate process pursuant to the provisions of Section 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws. Notice is hereby given that if you are not satisfied with the decision made by the Metropolitan Transportation Licensing Commission, you may appeal the decision by petitioning for a writ of certiorari with the Davidson County Chancery or Circuit Court. Your appeal must be filed within 60 days of the date of the entry of the Metropolitan Transportation Licensing Commission's decision. We advise that you seek your own independent legal advice to ensure that your appeal is filed in a timely manner and that all procedural requirements have been met. And I would like to introduce our new member of the commission, Mannion Hall. Would you tell us a little bit about who you are and what brought you here?
Yeah, my name is Mannion Hall. Unfortunately, it's currently spelled incorrectly, but that's okay. It's M-A-N-A-E-N. That happens a lot. I'm here because I have a lot of experience with shared use mobility devices. I've worked as a driver in the past, and I'm really excited to be a voice for those folks on here and continue to see more shared use mobility devices across Nashville.
Thank you. And welcome.
Thank you.
Let's see, no one has signed up for a public comment today? All right, we'll move right along then. Did I hear something? No. We have 2 minutes that we have to approve today, and the first is, let's go back to the January 20th, 2026 minutes. Have the commissioners had an opportunity to review those minutes?
Yes.
Yes. All right, and is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so that carries. Then the other minutes are from the February 17th, 2026 commission meeting. Have the commissioners had an opportunity to review those minutes?
Yes.
All right, is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
All right, and all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So the motion for approval of the February 17th, 2026 minutes is approved. Director Rooker, is there any items for deferral today?
No, sir, no items for deferral today.
All right, then why don't you take us into the consent items?
Okay, yes, sir. We have quite a few OPVH companies' new applications for the commission to consider. We did not get to vote last month on these, so some of these are carried over from the February meeting. All their paperwork is in order, and we would recommend approval.
And I would remind everybody that we either approve them or we have to take it off the consent agenda according to Robert's rules, which Metro Legal has reminded me several times. So is there a motion regarding the consent items or a request to take any particular item off the consent agenda? I think we should first take the OPVH new company applications.
I'll make a motion that we accept the OPVH new company applications as listed in our agenda and on the screen. Is that
going to be satisfactory without naming them?
no?
We have to
Okay,
name it.
I'll do it.
All right. But I appreciate you taking the initiative.
Make it a try.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I will add to my motion the names of those OPVH new company applications. They are from Able and Ready Transportation, Inc., Elvin Motors Group, 4M LLC, Jesnell Luxury LLC, JC Private Transportation, Joy Transportation, My Malute LLC, On Time Nashville LLC, Marvelous Transportation and Logistics LLC, MC Executive Transportation LLC, Osmain Transportation, Prestige Black Transportations LLC, TPL Hospitality Group, Inc., UV Luxury Transportation LLC, VR Transportation LLC, Apex Executive Transport LLC, and Sewans Limo.
There's been a motion, and I believe there's also a second, wasn't there?
Second, if you don't have one.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
Could I,
carried.
could I ask a question of the staff?
Of course.
How much is the fee for a new company application for these?
It's 200 for, if you have less than 5 vehicles. If you have more than 5, it's 500, and if you go up to 6 or more, it's 750.
$750. And that's the initial application fee
Yes, sir, plus the $35 fee per vehicle.
per vehicle? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All of which, and most of these are still doing the Uber thing, right? The Uber Black?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we're giving them really low fees, we're helping Uber make higher profits. Would that be a correct statement? Never mind, I'm not asking.
Mr. Chair, before we take up the next group, in the next group, there is a company that's requesting a name change, and there's also a request to change the address. And I just wanted to know before we vote on the change of name, if the two are interdependent. In other words, if we were to approve one but not approve the other, would that cause the company an issue?
I mean, I would say so, yes, if they're.
I just wanted to clarify that. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Also wanted to ask, because this came up in a pretty big meeting that we all had a little, bit of a controversy over. Are we at the point that we are checking, with the change of names, if it is actually, an owner that was given the original permit dropping out and the change of name owner taking over?
Yes, sir, we are checking all of that information. Yes, sir. Along with the business license, along with all the things that they're supposed to properly file for us to put them on consent.
And so if we find out that that is the case, are we bringing that information forward, or does that stop the process?
It would stop the process completely because they would have to go back to their original application to file what they properly needed to file.
Thank you.
On that note, I'd be glad to move approval of the OPVH request to change name on behalf of Sunny Transportation and Limo Services to Class Motors Services, Inc., Rising Star Limo to Woyo, or WOYO LLC, Anna and Ava Limo to Aran Limo, and Totally to Totally LLC.
There's been a motion. Is there a second? Second. All right, there's been a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Director Worker, then we're on to the OPVH request to modify ownership.
Yes, sir. And just so the commissioners remember, just a reminder, anytime an original application comes in and there's a change or a request to change any information on the original application, it has to come before this commission to be approved. So that's why you see these on your agenda. All their paperwork is in order, and we would recommend approval.
Is there a motion regarding the request to modify ownership for Haven Black LLC?
I'll make a motion to modify ownership for Haven Black LLC by adding Richard Van Nys as president and Erica Lauren Mastrati as CFO.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, motion carries. I did want to add for our new commissioner, these consent items, we have to either take them or we have to pull them off. And so that's why I'm not asking for any discussion after there's been a motion and a second. So,
Sounds good.
and I think Director Rooker's kind of explained pretty much what we're doing here with these consent items. Do you want to take on the next one, Director Rooker? OPVH request to change address.
Once again, Chair, there's just an address change for these companies, and staff would recommend approval.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the request to change address for Haven Black LLC to 712 Sills Court, Nashville Dive Bar Shuttle to 1343 Lewis Street, and Iran Limo to 8065 Marchwood Boulevard.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. Now to the entertainment transportation request to change address. Director Rooker?
Same as the OPVH. The companies are just asking to relocate and change the address. All their paperwork is in order. Staff would recommend approval.
Do we have a motion?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll make a motion that we approve a request to change address for Barefoot Entertainment LLC, doing business as Nashville Party Barge to 1343 Lewis Street, and Nashville Ultimate Party Bus LLC to 1343 Lewis Street.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, motion carries. Moving right along, Director Rooker, ET request to modify ownership.
Yes, sir. This is just a request to change or add a partner and/or to modify their ownership. All of these companies have filled out the proper paperwork. Staff would recommend approval.
We have a motion?
I have a question, though, before the motion.
Which one? We'll have to pull it off consent agenda.
I noticed some of the names in here for adding ownership,
Look familiar.
and I'm wondering if this is a bit of a conflict. I mean, I noticed some of these names that already own other businesses in the ET arena being added. Are these takeovers? Are these, I mean,
They're filed with us as partnerships. They're adding a partner. So to say it's a takeover, I can't answer that question. They're filing the proper paperwork to form a partnership. And that's the information that we have presented before you. And our paperwork is in order for them to form that partnership.
okay.
I need a little advice here now. With that question, are we now needing to take this particular item off the consent agenda?
Are there going to be any more questions? Or do we need discussion?
Since it was a generic question, in my mind, it was just checking procedurally as opposed to questioning a particular item, maybe.
Okay, if it's just a procedural question, which I agree it was, then I don't think you need to take it off consent. But if you want to have a full-fledged discussion about the rules and what's happening here, then I think you would need to move to take it off consent.
So Commissioner Carr, did you want to talk to have some discussion with some of the proposed new owners or owners being removed?
No, I mean, if nobody else, if it doesn't, no.
All right, then I guess Commissioner Riders?
I'll make a motion that we approve the request to modify ownership for Nomadic Genius LLC, doing business as Tasty Tour, adding Michael Winters and Mark Peterson as owners. Also, Big Green Tractor Tours LLC, removing Roxanne Morgan and Joe Bryant. And Flanagan Tours LLC, doing business as Experience Nashville, removing Jason Flanagan.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Director Rooker, the Wrecker and Towing Services request to modify ownership. Donaldson Wrecker?
Yes, sir, Chair. Just believe they're adding a partner in Michael Shelton. Paperwork is in order. Staff recommends approval.
I'll make a motion that we approve the modified ownership of Donaldson Wrecker Service, adding Michael Blake Shelton.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And the final matter on the consent agenda, the record towing services request to change name, Donaldson Record again.
Donaldson Records, changing their name to Donaldson Record Service LLC. Your paperwork is in order. Staff would recommend approval.
Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the name change from Donaldson Record Services to Donaldson Record Services LLC.
Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Next item, Director Urquhart, taxi cabs.
Yes, sir. That would get us clear of the consent agenda. Now we're going to move on to a disciplinary hearing. This is a disciplinary hearing regarding Dwayne Brown complaint against Volunteer Cab. This was on your September agenda, and I think we kind of ran out of time that day. When was it, TD? I'm sorry.
It was January.
January, okay, sorry about that, January. So this complaint came in, the company, refreshed the commission, kind of what we talked about in January. The company suspended the driver for a week, offered a full refund to this gentleman. He did not request or want a refund, but he wanted his permit to be revoked, and 100% revoked. So we brought it before you to decide whether or not you wanted to have a disciplinary hearing, if the company had already disciplined him enough, and the commission decided to have a hearing. So that's why we are here today, to have this hearing against this driver.
Are there any specific guidelines that need to be met to satisfy disciplinary action?
No, sir, not really. The only thing is taking into consideration the discipline that's already happened. He was suspended for a week. They offered a full refund to the gentleman. The gentleman did not want to take a refund. As a matter of fact, denied taking the refund. So you can suspend again, you can revoke, you can put him on probation. There are several things that you can do, but you'd have to have that to make those decisions after we have the hearing.
I believe in January, I brought up some discussion about what's the standard of proof for the evidence of violation, and then also whether the affidavit of Mr. Brown was adequate for this hearing, and Metro Legal sent us a memorandum of law or memorandum saying that the affidavit is sufficient in these civil proceedings,
Yes, sir.
reminding me that I'm not in a criminal proceeding here,
Right.
where there's a right of confrontation, and anyway.
Mr. Chairman, for those who have been on the commission for a longer period of time, are you aware of any similar disciplinary situation that we could compare our prior responses to? Because the disciplinary hearings, I think, that I've participated in so far have differed.
They're all different. I think in this particular hearing is a week-long suspension from being able to work. Would the commission consider that enough discipline and an offer to refund the money to Mr. Brown? The reason he's not here, and he's an affidavit, he lives in New York, so he wrote the affidavit, and that's why it's before you in the sense of matter that it is today.
We also look at whether there have been previous violations by the driver and
That is
what
correct.
sanctions, if any, were imposed at that time.
This driver has been driving since 2009, so we went back and searched to see if we had any complaints on this driver before. We could not find a record of any complaint. So as far as we know, in our complaints stack, so to speak, this driver's not had one before, and he's been driving since 2009.
And since he's been driving since 2009, he should know the rules.
Yes, sir, he should know the rules, and we've talked to the commission about this before. This is an ongoing problem. It's an ongoing problem, and you're going to start seeing more and more of these disciplinary hearings when we can prove. We had a complaint today, just for instance, lady complained, Wasn't sure of the cab company, wasn't sure of the cab number, wasn't sure of all those things. But if I can validate a complaint and make sure that that complaint is real and that it happened, more than likely that driver's going to be sitting before you from this day forward. We are doing our best to stop this practice of running flat fees all the time from downtown Nashville. It doesn't matter where you're going. You could be going to a hotel, you could be going to the airport, wherever you're going. These drivers are charging flat fees and not running their meter, and that is a violation of Metro ordinance.
Ms. Ramsey, you wrote the letter to the commission about the affidavit, right?
If you say I did, I did.
It looks like your name at the bottom there,
Okay.
but, well, it was, I was going to compliment you. It was well done.
Oh, thank you.
And very thorough. So who's going to present the proof on behalf of Mr. Brown? Oh, wait, first I need to ask, is Solomon Bittu here? Am I pronouncing that correct, Director Rooker?
He is here, yes,
All
sir.
right, why don't you come on up? Come on up to the front, please. What's the name of the cab company, Director Rooker?
It is Volunteer Cab.
Is anybody here from Volunteer Cab? Okay. How do you pronounce your last name? Bittu. Bittu? Yes. All right. Mr. Bittu, would you raise your right hand, please? I'm going to place you under oath. Raise your right hand. Okay. That's your left, I think. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying first? Let me make sure of that, okay? Yes. If you have any questions about what I'm about to say or ask you to swear to, let me know, okay?
Okay.
All right. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you understood that?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Now, we're going to hear some of the proof. The way we're going to go forward here is we're going to hear some of the proof or the allegations against you about overcharging. And I understand you've already been disciplined by Volunteer Cab. And you'll be given an opportunity to speak or address and say what you want to say to the commission, okay? Not yet, though, okay? Who's going to present the proof for Mr. Brown about the allegations? Director Rooker, did the commission receive the affidavit from Mr. Brown?
Yes, sir, it should be in your packets.
Right, and if that's all right, I guess we can,
And it's my understanding that that was mailed to this gentleman, so he's had a chance to read it. Is that correct?
well, that was the recommendation Ms. Ramsey had in her letter to us, which was, we're instructing the TLC staff to deliver a copy of Mr. Brown's affidavit to Mr. Bittu. Did that get done?
Yes, sir. I mailed it to Mr. Bittu, and I also sent an email to you as well, informing you to be here today.
Do you have another copy? Oh, wait, we got a bunch of copies up here of stuff, so I think
What do you want it to be?
I want him to have one.
Okay.
So, Director Rooker, at your request, is this affidavit being made part of the record for the minutes today?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right, that's basically what I was trying to get to.
Yes, sir.
All right, and have all the commissioners had an opportunity to review the affidavit?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So, is there anything more other than the affidavit, Mr. Brown?
That is all the evidence that we have unless something's come in that since then.
There was a photograph of the driver, of the
Right.
license plate of the vehicle, of the receipt that was alleged to have been given. All that is included in your packet was included in the letter to the driver, as well as to Volunteer Taxi.
And, Ms. Sheffley, who did those come from? Who sent those?
Mr. Brown sent those directly to me as part of his Hub Nashville complaint.
All right. Let's make all those documents sent by Mr. Brown a part of the record today, too, okay?
Yes, Chair.
All right. I guess, Mr. Bittu, the brown sheet of paper in front of you there, have you read that?
Yes,
Okay, and you understand the content of it?
yeah.
Do you dispute the facts that are in that?
Yeah, I received before this.
I'm sorry?
I received before this, actually.
You
everything.
received.
You received it, okay.
Yeah.
The question is, do you agree with them or do you disagree with them?
Well, to be honest, this is not my idea. Actually, when I charge him, people, Lyft drivers, Uber drivers, taxi cab drivers in the town. So people, they check the price, fare, how much they charge Lyft, how much they charge Uber, how much they charge taxi cab. As that day, this guy, I think he waiting Uber, but the Uber driver, I think takes long, he's not come on time. So I was meeting this guy, Commerce Street in downtown. He is walking all the way down from Broadway to Commerce Street. I'm coming the other side of Commerce Street. He flagged me, I stopped for him. I think he requested Uber, the Uber driver is not coming on time. He have to take taxi cab. So he flagged me, I stopped for him. I need a ride, he said that to me. Okay, where do you want to go? I said, he gave me the address. So how many people? I said to him, 4 people. Okay. How much you gonna charge me? He said to me, how much you gonna be charging me? I mean, he said to me, it's not my idea. How much you gonna be charging me? Oh, it's not cost maybe $30, $35, I said to him. Okay, we are 3 people there at the other side of the road. Okay, you wanna take me? Yes. He called the people. I took his place, his destination. But the ladies, I think ladies with him, 2 ladies with him, 2 guys and 2 ladies. The ladies, I think she requested Uber. But Uber, they charge $12. I see in my app, why you charging me $35? No, we negotiated before with him. We negotiated for him. So you wanna pay $35, pay me. You don't pay me, it's okay, it's up to you. I said to him, all right, I said, okay, here you go. I use my credit card and print receipt, he said to me, okay? My print is not working. My print is not working, I can give it to you. Okay, what are you gonna do? If you want, I use mostly Cash App and Apple Pay and Venmo. I use my credit, that's my pay system, So, okay, don't worry about it. I give you cash, okay? Give me $35. Give it to me, and he need a receipt. Actually, I tried to find the receipt. I can't find any receipt for VT, my voluntary cab. When I'm driving Nash Vegas cab, like 76 years, Nash Vegas cab. I have a cab receipt on my car, so I give him a receipt. But that's all. That's what happened,
Any commissioners have some follow-up questions, or?
Have you, in the past, picked up passengers that flagged you down and you just made an open air agreement as to the price without using the meter? Have you done that before?
Yeah, they do. People that, sometimes people in Broadway, very busy time. This happened like October, I think October is very busy time, yeah. So sometimes people, they come and they take less cheap price. Maybe sometimes Uber's up price, they come in and they took taxi cab. They ask price, how much you gonna take us from this place to this place. They ask, it's just negotiation sometimes, for these people.
So you've made negotiated prices in the past without
Exactly.
using the meter?
Exactly.
So you're admitting you regularly disobey the rules of the commission?
Excuse me?
You're supposed to turn on the meter for every ride, correct?
Yeah,
And you're admitting you don't do that?
yes.
Are you driving today?
I'm not, I'm staying home. I took kids to school and come back, go to sleep, and I'm working mostly nighttime.
So are you with Volunteer Taxi anymore?
Well, because they charge me, they suspend me last 4 weeks, I think 4 weeks, they charge me, 4 weeks. They charge me,
I'm not sure the answer to my question. Are you driving for Volunteer Taxi today or at all?
Not today. I didn't today.
Okay, not today, but
Yeah.
are you still with Volunteer Taxi
Yes.
as a cab driver?
Yes,
And when was the last time you drove for Volunteer Taxi?
2 days ago.
All right. How long did they suspend you for this violation of the rules?
2 weeks. 2 weeks, I guess, 2 weeks. Without nothing, without, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, yeah.
Okay, so you're under oath, just a reminder. When did you leave Nash Vegas Cab?
After pandemic, actually, after pandemic, I'm driving Uber.
Could you provide like a date, like a 2022, 2023? Because you handed a receipt.
I started Uber, I left from Nash Vegas after pandemic, actually, this is 2019, 2020. 2020, yeah, I left from 2020, yeah, from Nash Vegas.
Okay, so you've been with Volunteer Taxi Volunteer Taxi since 2020?
No, it's 2020, okay, I'm driving 2 years Uber, 2021, 2022, 2023, I started VT, voluntary carrier.
Thanks.
Mr. Rickard, did you have any communications with the company during all of this?
TD did, yes.
I directly communicated with Volunteer Taxi, yes.
Because I'm beginning to think here, there's obviously some responsibility by the company, and we're not really discussing that. I'm not sure exactly how we would hold them responsible, but we should. And in the past, generally speaking, given, circumstances, whatever they did to the driver is not our disciplinary action. That's
Right.
between an employer and an employee. And I would argue that our responsibility is different. That said, I'm not sure what the proper course is, but I think the company holds some responsibility. I'm just not sure exactly what it is.
Definitely, that's company disciplined, and that's why he's before you today. So if you think he needs to be disciplined by this commission, then you're going to have the opportunity to do that. TD, did you have something?
And I would just add, the company was not instructed to be here today. They were informed this was going on, as the Metro Code says that I should inform the company and inform the driver, but the disciplinary hearing is against the driver.
Yeah, could I suggest in the future, maybe, hopefully we won't have a whole lot of future hearings like this if the word gets out, but let's have the company come. Is that an appropriate request? Because I'd like to hear.
We can ask them to come.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
because if their driver is here admitting he does it regularly, what do you guess there are other drivers doing it regularly, as you said?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so don't want to hold this one driver responsible for something we know is going on at large.
I'd like to add to that too. I wouldn't necessarily want to be the, you got a spanking in school, you're getting a spanking at home type thing. And that, and I just say that's just old school for me. He has been disciplined, whether it has been by us or not. There has been a monetary discipline imposed. He has had to be here. I think he is being honest to his own detriment. He's being honest. But again, as you said, this is not an anomaly. It is an ongoing process. He might be the spearhead of the whole shebang exploding, and I wouldn't necessarily want to put the weight of that on his shoulders, as he seems to be forthcoming that he is a little bit dumbfounded to think, well, this is kind of how things go. You know, I know there's a meter there, but they're asking me, and I've been doing this for 9 years. This is kind of how the industry operates.
Which is in violation of our rules.
Yeah.
It's in violation of our rules.
yeah, so-
And I'm not negating that. I'm just saying to, you know, pick the elephant up and put it on his shoulders today.
And I appreciate that, but it really does cause me a great deal of concern that that this particular driver doesn't seem to understand what the rules are, which makes me think that there are other taxi drivers, we know it's a problem, right? So,
But I may have misheard. What I thought I was hearing is there are times when people are very much wanting to get from one place to another. They're not getting the particular ride they wanted, and they want to get there. And I hear someone saying, no, $35 to get to a place I'm fine with. If the meter had been running and the person still paid them $35, we would deem that okay, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Because there wasn't a complaint. Because no complaint was filed. That's why we would have deemed it okay, because they.
Just so we don't.
They gave him $100, the rest is a tip,
Yeah,
unless.
exactly. That's where I'm going.
So in the future, when there are people who really want to get from one place to another and appear willing to pay more, the correct response is, I am obligated under the Metro Nashville-Davidson County rules and regulations to start my meter. If you would like to pay me more for that amount so that you can get in my cab now and get to that place,
yeah.
you're
And-
welcome to. But then again, I guess we get to the point of, is somebody holding someone hostage? Do we have to look at who initiated it?
They should only be charging what the meter says, and whatever gratuity they want to give them for convenience of an expedited trip, that's a tip. I mean, our rules are clear. You charge what's on the meter.
And so when somebody says, what's the price is based on what the meter is, and it's on the side of the van. I mean,
And a cab, once they've been stopped by a potential customer, is not able to say, well, I decline to give you a ride because you're not offering to give me a tip. So once he had been flagged down, he's under an obligation to go ahead and provide transportation,
He is.
as long as there's not like a physical threat or
Right,
something.
right.
I mean, they can decline to an intoxicated person or.
Correct.
You know, there's another thing here, though, also. There's an allegation of potential deception, that the receipt was handed to Mr. Brown in the name of Nashville Vegas Cab, when it turned out he was actually driving for Volunteer Cab. Did you hear what I just said?
Yes.
Did you understand what
Yeah,
I just said?
understand. Yeah,
So how do you explain that?
actually, people sometimes it's not exactly not pronounce my name, you know. My name is B2 Solomon, so sometimes I use my nickname. Simon's easy. My daughter, she called me Simon. My family, she called me Simon. I use Simon, I put Simon in a receipt, my name. So that's my nickname, you know. Maybe,
No. It's not the name. It's not your name that's in question. It's the name on the receipt.
cab company.
The cab company's
it's
name.
Nash Vegas.
And that wasn't the name that was on your cab that night.
You weren't driving for Nash Vegas that night, you were driving for Volunteer.
Yes, I can't
right.
find receipt.
Now-
I don't have receipt. That's why he need request receipt. But I finished my receipt, but I need receipt. Have to give me receipt, say to me. But I have a receipt for Nash Vegas, a couple receipt in my car. Yes, I give to him receipt, yes.
Why would you give him a receipt from Nash Vegas when you're driving for Volunteer?
Yes, but I'm
No,
not
no, why?
negatively. I'm
Why?
thinking positively. Sometimes the company pay for people, right? Sometimes the company, they pay for, maybe he asking for company for payment for refund the money. Maybe, I think positively, not like that, you know. So maybe this guy, he need a receipt.
Let me ask you this then. Why are you carrying Nashville, Vegas receipts when you're driving for Volunteer?
Well,
Why do you have them in your car?
just, I don't know, because this is a receipt, it's a long time ago in the seat in my car.
What I think is that you were carrying Nashville, Vegas receipts so that when you charge someone a flat rate, you gave them that receipt even though you were driving for Volunteer. That way you were deceiving them.
I finished my receipt, but I don't have voluntary taxi cab receipt, because I finished my receipt. He's the guy, he need receipt.
I know you gave him a Nashville, Vegas receipt. I've heard that many times now.
No, I'm not.
I'm just
only-
curious what you're doing with Nashville, Vegas
I'm not-
receipts in a Volunteer cab car.
Sir, I'm not giving for anybody, because this guy, he need a receipt, he have to give me a receipt to say to me, okay, receipt, I don't have receipt, I finished my receipt. He said, I need a receipt. I
Who
give
put
it
the
to-
Nashville, Vegas receipts in the Volunteer cab?
Of course.
You
different.
did, didn't you?
Yes, it's of course different.
Yeah, you put them in the cab. Right?
Yes.
Why? This is your opportunity to explain why you're carrying Nashville, Vegas receipts in your Volunteer cab.
Maybe that mistake.
What?
Maybe that one is a mistake. That's my big mistake, but maybe.
Well, and what about the mistake of not turning your meter on and charging a flat rate? You knew that was wrong, didn't you?
Of course I do.
What?
Yes, I do.
Can I ask a question? This is the receipt that you gave?
Yes.
Is this the other side of that receipt?
This receipt, the real receipt, this one. This copy, actually. That was the
So,
copy.
I mean, this is front and back. The receipt doesn't just look plain like this, it looks like this?
No, he took the picture of the backside, the guy. Yeah, he take the picture of the backside,
Okay.
yeah.
But the front side of the
Yeah, the
receipt
front
looks
side
like
of the
this?
car, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Did the person in your car that asked for the receipt, did you explain to them, or did they ask you why it said Nash Vegas instead of why it said
Yes, I did.
volunteer?
Because I have finished my receipt. I have only the Nash Vegas receipt. This I have it. That's all I have. If you want this one, I give it to him.
So you explained to the guy in the
Yes.
car,
Yes.
this is not a volunteer
Right.
cab receipt. This
That's
is
why-
all I have if you have to have a receipt.
That's why he mentioned, that's.
Does Volunteer Taxi provide you with receipts or any type of machine or cards like this?
No, but the paper receipt, the machine is not working. Mostly people, they use personal payment like Apple Pay, Zelle, and like Venmo kind of, So I'm use my Square. I use Square. Square is, you need receipt, maybe email or text message, they send it to people,
Okay, so you have a Square device, and if they put their phone number in or their email in, they could receive
Yes.
a receipt when they tap to pay or insert it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, what form of payment did this individual use?
Huh?
What form of payment did Mr. Brown use? Was it cash?
He paid cash.
He paid in cash, okay.
Yeah.
Is there any way to input a cash payment into Square for your tracking?
He say no,
He didn't want,
he don't want it.
but can you use
I'm
Square
asking him.
and track
Yes.
your cash payments?
Apple Pay or Venmo, he can pay, said, no, just I have cash, whatever. I said, he threw my money. Just that.
So
Okay, so in that case, it sounds like he offered the patron an alternative, and what he chose is what he had on hand. If he's, this is absolutely wrong. Don't get me wrong, I'm not defending this at all. Just letting you know, this shouldn't have happened. But if he asked the patron, do you have Venmo? Do you want to pay with Cash App? And the patron volunteered cash and wanted whatever receipt he had, that patron made that choice to accept that receipt. knowing I'm in a volunteer taxi, and this doesn't say volunteer taxi.
That's not what Mr. Brown writes in his affidavit, though. He's very clear that it felt like it was deception. Gentlemen, I know this is not a smart meter in this vehicle, correct?
That is correct.
And how do these, well then, how does this meter generally generate a receipt when someone pays? I thought they produced a paper receipt.
It says printer wasn't working.
That's what I heard as well, is that the printer was not working in your
Yeah.
vehicle. I'd like to point out, just from the passenger's Bill of Rights in the taxi cab section, they are supposed to get a receipt upon request. So only if the passenger requests a receipt, do they get one. They don't necessarily have to be given a receipt if they do not request one.
But in this instance, they requested one.
Yeah, he says here, I requested a receipt so that I could address the issue through proper channels. The driver provided a handwritten receipt listing a different cab company, Nashville Vegas Cab, which did not match the vehicle or company operating the taxi cab. And it doesn't sound like there was much discussion about this is all I have for you. Mr. Bittu, when you read paragraph 8, do you agree with paragraph 8 in that Brown document? This thing right here.
Yeah.
You agree with it?
Chair?
Yeah.
Do you think you could read it for him into the record so that he
Sure,
can hear
yeah.
it?
I think I just read it, but I can read it again. This is paragraph 8 of Mr. Brown, Dwayne Brown's affidavit, page 1. Upon arrival, I requested a receipt so that I could address the issue through proper channels. The driver provided a handwritten receipt listing a different cab company named Nashville Cab, and that's in bold print, which did not match the vehicle or company operating the taxi cab. Mr. Bittu, do you have anything else you want to add today? Any other proof or anybody here on your behalf?
Well, this is actually, I give it to him the receipt because of he requesting receipt.
Mhm.
So he need the receipt because I don't have printing receipt because he use in cash. He pay Apple or he pay by Venmo, whatever. I can print receipt for or I text him or text message or email. But he pay in cash. He need a receipt. Voluntary cab taxi. I mean, I don't have receipt for that company receipt. Maybe I'm not the officer and I'm not asking people for receipt. So I have a couple receipt in my car. Just this, I give it to him. This receipt for normally. I mean, normally people they ask receipt. They need receipt. I'm give it to receipt. This is maybe not looking the other side of bad stuff or not bad way.
Does anybody have any further questions?
I think I misheard earlier. I thought he said, in reference Commerce Street, but the receipt and the affidavit say Broadway. Did I mishear? Did y'all?
Yeah, actually, I think he was picked up at Raising Cane's on Broadway, Nashville.
But I thought this gentleman referenced Commerce.
It's not Resin Cane, it's a Southern Commerce. It's Resin Cane and Broadway. I met this guy all the way Third Avenue North and Commerce Street.
You heard correctly. He says he picked, you're saying you picked up Mr. Brown at Commerce Street?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That you wrote Broadway on the receipt.
No, what he, Broadway, I mean, the real, I don't have exactly location because between Commerce and Third Avenue North. That's why I put Broadway, I mean. Well, not very big, deep, maybe like 600, 700 feet from Broadway, not very far.
Anybody have any further questions? All right, well, we'll close this part of taking proof for the disciplinary hearing and leave it open to discussion about, well, I guess first we need to vote on whether there's been a finding of violations of our rules. And I think the primary one that is before us is 672-250. And am I correct about that particular section?
Yes, sir, I believe you are. I'm reading it right now.
Yeah, Metropolitan Code 6.72.250.8A, A, not 8. Section 219 that sets forth taxi cab fares are to be done by meters. Is there any, sit tight a second, hold on 1 second, okay?
So do we need to make like a finding of fact?
Yes.
Is that what, okay. Well, I'll make a motion that we find that he violated the rules in question. And might point out he admitted to violating it at other times as well.
Is there,
Motion.
yeah, why don't you go ahead and state exactly what rule he violated?
I think you might have beat me to the punch, actually. Were you going to modify your motion to state exactly which rules he violated?
Correct.
Because, okay, I think that we were on the same.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at it. I make a motion that we make a finding of fact that the driver in question violated Rule 6.72.250. That's the right one, right?
A and B?
And 265. Oh, okay.
Could we add 6.72270B as well? The, on which shall the name of the receipt was like inaccurate?
Why don't we take one violation at a time, okay? I'll be open to other considerations, but I think the first one we have right now is a motion regarding a driver of a taxi cab shall not charge greater sum for use of taxi cab than the rate set below, which is the meter rate. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay, is there discussion at this point?
Can you say something?
No, you're going to hold on a second, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, then there's a motion, there's a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And I think Commissioner Hall wanted to make a motion?
Yeah, motion to find that Mr. Bitu violated, or, was found to be in violation with 6.72.270 B.
And that is.
That the name of the company was inaccurate.
That the name of the company was inaccurate, he did not provide his taxi cab number, and it also says we need the final destination on there, and it was not on there as well.
Is there a second?
I'm sorry, I retract the last part of my, the drop-off location was on there, I didn't see it.
Still a second? Second. Okay. And as I understand 672270B, the driver of any taxi cab shall, upon request of passenger, provide a receipt for the amount charged either by mechanically printed receipt or by specifically prepared receipt, on which shall be the name of the taxi cab company. So I think it's pretty clear what 672270B says. So, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Any other motions? Okay. Mr. Bitu, you wanted to say something. You have been found in violation
Well-
of two, hold on. You've been found in violation of two sections of the code. One for charging the flat fee and not using the meter, and the second for an improper receipt. Now, we will move into a discussion about what sanctions should be imposed on you. And I understand there's a question, seems to be whether you were suspended for 1 week or 2 weeks. And of course, the company's offered to reimburse Mr. Brown for the $35. What is it you wanted to speak about right now?
No, I said, well, as this is actually last 16 years driving in downtown Broadway, I'm not anything to do. I mean, I'm driving 16 years. In my opinion, I'm perfectly driving 16 years. But as the day of bad day is coming, this day is happened. This is for me. So this house, this committee, you have to see this one for me. I mean, you know what I mean?
No,
I said.
I lost, I got confused there for a
Yes,
moment. Go
I
ahead,
mean,
please.
last 16 years driving, I'm
Right.
driving 16 in this town, more than 16 years actually.
Yeah,
But I don't do anything. I'm perfectly driving. I'm doing my job perfectly, but I don't do anything last 16, 17 years. But this has happened one bad day. This for me is one bad day.
okay.
Yeah. So you can see for me this, is my asking.
Mulligan.
I'm asking.
Okay. And I know there's been a discussion about having checked his driving record. Is there no previous complaints at all?
None that we have record of, and we do have record of him operating since 2009 in Nashville.
Okay. So you're saying this is your first and only time that
Yes.
you've
Yeah.
had a complaint against you? Okay. The next section, or the next thing we go into is a question about what sanctions, what discipline to impose for I think we could take both violations together and consider, given the proximity of the events here. We can either start with a motion or in this case, maybe start with discussion first before we do a motion. Kind of see where everybody is.
Well, I'll start with discussion.
Thank you.
I do think we should take into account the longevity and the service that he's had in Nashville. I wouldn't say, just given my previous experience, that it's the only time he's done it. It's probably the only time he's been caught. Having said that, I don't think it was malicious. I think he was following what he's been trained or the norm for the last 15 years of him driving a taxi cab. I don't think the receipt was given, I actually don't think the receipt was given as a way to mislead the actual patron of his car. Just because it made sense and if he could do that off the cuff, more power to him, but I just don't think he has that ability. I think that he has dealt with enough people in Nashville being here on convention, being here on business, to know that they sometimes need a receipt to get reimbursed. I do believe his candor here. He is being honest to the point that, to his own detriment. It being a violation, you cannot overlook that. It's a violation, true and true. There's two violations here. Just because this is the receipt he had, it's not the receipt that should have been given. Just because the customer agreed to the $35, he should have used the meter. There have been some financial sanctions imposed here. And for me, I don't think there should be another one monetarily put on top of it. Should there be some training, or should there be some follow-up restrictions to show that he realizes this is past practice, but I shouldn't be doing this going forward? And I say that in the sense of a probationary period. That's just my discussion on the matter.
I would add, as it relates to the 270B violation, on the flip side of the card that he did use for a receipt, there was an opportunity for him to list a cab number. And I think part of what we should include in our decision-making is clarifying not only the use of the meter, but full compliance with what's required in the code, which means you cannot leave out the date, you cannot leave out your cab number, and I believe you should not use a nickname, but a full name to be able to be identified.
And I believe actually on the backside, the name is the customer, and then on the front is the driver's name. So I think the name on that other side should have been maybe the customer name, or is it saying to repeat the driver's name on both sides?
I mean,
Not that that matters, I'm sorry.
You could be correct, because it does say cab number and driver on the back, on the front, and on the back it just says name. If you see at the bottom here, so I believe the back side is solely for the customer. And that might have been some,
So that the customer can add their own name for some purposes of submitting as
this
a,
is my receipt.
right. But I would want to make sure that he understands this is not what we have decided, but it's what Metro Council has decided, and we are responsible for making sure that the ordinance is followed, the code is followed.
And again, just bringing into what Mr. Rogers said, I think that's where we should get the cab companies involved in this.
That's what I was going to say. That's, ultimately, they're responsible for all of this. You know, I'd like to ask them why there's a receipt for a competitor in their cab. You know, why is it, why don't they make sure every driver has appropriate receipts? Those kind of questions. I understand where you're coming from. However, I think in the past, I've always said whatever the decision a company makes is separate from what our disciplinary action should be. I don't know if a week is appropriate or not, but I think what we should consider doing, I guess I can make a motion, is that we suspend him for a week and you give it the week he's already served as time served. Is that appropriate?
Retroactive application.
Yeah. Is that, I'll just throw that out. Does that sound like an
Yeah,
appropriate
before you
action?
make a motion, I'd like to add a couple of things, okay? Putting my criminal defense hat on, I will say that, to me, the failure to provide the appropriate receipt is minimal compared to not using the meter, because they're really, your cab named the cab company, and Mr. Brown, the passenger, was not deceived because he saw the cab name on the cab. It's a little puzzling why you are still carrying Nashville cab receipts in your car, but he wasn't deceived because he was able to see the cab name on the vehicle. The concern I have is that you admitted you've been doing this for a long time of not turning the meter on and charging a flat rate fee. And as been pointed out by Director Rooker, I think in our sentencing here, we need to consider general deterrence. We can do specific deterrence to Mr. Bitu here, but general deterrence for other, from what I hear, this is a problem across the board out there of taxi drivers. And we need to consider general deterrence so that the message gets out there that they gotta stop doing this. Have you stopped charging flat fees? You're under oath now, as you were reminded a moment ago. Have you stopped charging flat fees?
Yes, sir.
Why?
No, I'm not charging right now.
No. Why have you stopped charging flat fees?
Well, this is, I'm talking early, mostly as very busy time, we are.
Hey, stop. You stopped charging flat fees because it's wrong.
Yes, wrong.
And you stopped giving out Nashville cab receipts when you're driving for volunteer taxi. Because it's wrong.
Yes.
That's what we're hoping you're getting, and you're going to
Yes.
get the message out there that it's wrong. And we're going to start disciplining people. Anyway, my thoughts about the discipline is that, one, we got to think about general deterrence, and two, the receipt issue, I think, is minimal compared to the flat rate fee. That seems to have been a continuing problem.
I agree.
And now I'll be quiet, so if someone
You
can
a
make a
criminal
motion.
defense attorney or a prosecutor?
So when you communicated with the company, did they clarify for you the time period of the discipline? Because I still think we have that disconnect. Was it a week or was it 2 weeks?
Sir,
From the company.
you're with Volunteer Cab?
I went to the wrong building on the
Okay.
house, that's why I'm late.
All right, give us just a moment. We have a question from one of the commission. You can come up and have a seat there.
I mean, I was gonna answer some of the questions.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, sorry.
And that email
sorry
chain
about
with the company is included in your packet, and it was indicated to me that it was 1 week.
And maybe we can get an answer here now. Can you introduce yourself and make sure your mic is on, please?
Okay, I don't know how to turn on over here. Okay, so on, I guess. Okay, my name is Caseta. I'm
Can he
one
go
of the
under
board
oath?
member.
Pull your mic closer.
My name is Caseta Kahase. I'm one of the board members on the volunteer taxi.
All right, and you know
So-
Mr. Bitwood?
Yes, I know him, and we suspend him for a week. Plus, we offer the customer to refund his money, plus free ride, but the guy, he didn't accept it. But what I'm saying is, also on the customer, I mean, when he do all these cameras, everything, he knows this guy's not right. Why he pay him? Why he don't call police on him, you know? He did all this record because he knows the price. He knows this guy's not right at that time. And instead doing all this, why he pay his money and why he don't call the law at that time? That's why I have question on that customer too.
So you suspended Mr. Bitwood for 1
We did
week?
suspend him
Ms.
for a
Bitwood,
week.
how much money did you lose during that week not being able to drive? Or failed to be able to earn, I should say?
Wow, maybe 1,800 to 1,000.
$800 to $1,000,
Yeah.
okay. And sir, is he a good driver? Do you want to keep him? What's your thoughts on that?
We never have any complaint about him, and he's a good driver. He pays his due on time.
Is he
That's all.
still driving for you?
He's still driving, yes.
Why did he have a Nashville cab receipt in your
Okay.
vehicle?
Yes, sir. We got sometimes, we
Las
run out
Vegas.
receipt. When the customer needs desperately, we borrow from other drivers for temporary. You know, when you run out your receipt, you cannot get it right away. We do borrowed like that. Sometimes all the cab drivers, all the companies, they borrow each other.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding, but.
Would you
not
call
for the
yourself a
wrong-
good manager?
Not for the wrong person though, not for the wrong purpose. Just for the customer, he need to get reimbursed from
Well,
his
that's, yeah,
company.
but you don't make, wouldn't
No,
you
we
call
do
that
have-
necessary equipment for operating your business?
We do have receipt. In the office, we have full bags. But in case if they run out in the middle, that's all I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, why don't you provide your drivers with the necessary equipment to operate your business? And receipts would be one of those things, wouldn't they?
That's what I'm saying. We do have. The customer, the driver, sometimes he run out without coming to the office.
Well, how many do you have in each car?
They should have enough. I mean, we have a lot of.
Well, he obviously didn't
full
have
bags.
enough.
Huh?
He obviously didn't have enough.
No. In the office, we have full bags.
I don't care what you got in
When
the
he run
office.
out, he should come. That's his
No,
responsibility.
it's your
to come and get.
responsibility managing the business.
That's what I'm saying. We provide the things that the driver need to run the business. But if he didn't come and get it, that's gonna be,
Okay, how much responsibility? He admitted that he has taken flat fares before.
You don't want it?
yes, sir.
You heard that? You heard his admission?
I came late. a little bit.
Okay,
said-
I asked him if he had done this before. He said yes, all the time, I think was the quote. Do you know if that's happening with your other drivers?
That he done this, guy, flat rate before?
Any of your drivers? I mean, the director has said to us that this has been a widespread problem.
Unless we got a complaint from customers, there is no way we know.
So you have no idea what your drivers are doing?
Our drivers, we know that they go and serve the community. That's all we know.
All right. Any further questions of these two gentlemen?
I just want to clarify, Mr. Rogers, I was, this meeting is very eye-opening. I was also astonished that an admittance of such a shocking failure is just openly, and I don't know if it's candor or ignorance, but so what you're saying is, and other cab, and I say this because we're discussing general deterrence. Other cab owners know that Volunteer and Nash Vegas and Checker and Yellow share receipts. That's a common thing. If your driver runs out and he is next to a checkered cab, it's okay for him to share for receipt purposes, not for purposes of the ride, but for receipt purposes. You guys know that they share these, that they share these so that they could give the customer a receipt. You're aware of this.
Let me put it the right way. I mean,
Not that you condone it, you're aware.
that's what I'm saying. Can I
Sure,
say
go
it?
ahead.
Instead, yes or no? For example, this guy, he goes to the airport with a customer. And he ran out the receipt. He didn't come to the office to get one. So suddenly, the customer, he's going to ask for the receipt, which is he's going to get reimbursed from his company. Then there is Nash Vegas or Checker around him. He's not going to do it for a wrong purpose. It's not right. But for the right purpose, that guy, in order to get his receipt. For example, some customers, they come downstairs and they say, last time I didn't collect a receipt from my driver, can you give it to me? That's why they said. We refuse to give it to them. Because
Okay.
we don't know.
So the answer is yes, you're aware.
Yeah,
Under certain circumstances, you are aware.
under that circumstance.
And so
the one I
this
told
is
you
what
under.
I would say. I would say that you give them enough receipts that it is virtually impossible for him to run out. Fill the glove box up. I say this because I'm in a business where we have to offer receipts as well. And it can backfire on you in many different scenarios
If you go,
of someone, this could be evidence. Someone come up missing, this could be evidence.
if you go to our office right now, you could get 1,000 full of for receipt. So this guy, if he didn't come and get, should be,
I'm saying when he checks in, don't let, not just him. So I'm taking him out of the picture. Now I'm blaming you.
okay?
When your drivers come in, open their glove box and put 200 of them in there. And when they come in for service, to get the meters checked, to check for damages on the vehicles, make sure that glove box is full. This has so many different implications other than just a receipt to get reimbursed. There's so many things that could happen, that where this came from and the information on the back of it is important to so many other things other than them getting reimbursed from their company. And it should not be a practice. As a matter of fact, you should tell your drivers, don't do it. I'd rather you get a piece of paper and write on it than use another taxi cab's receipt. This ordinance is here and you should know it, and all your other board members should know this ordinance. And I think there's something that you guys need to, something as a deterrent or a practice of acknowledgement on a renewal basis that we understand this.
Chair,
Yes,
I have a question. Is there a motion pending?
I don't think there's been a second on the motion yet. We actually, yeah, we started with discussion first, so there is no motion pending.
Okay. And the taxi cab company has not been brought up on charges?
No, they have no notice of any charges,
That is correct.
so they're just on the carpet today, but right now.
Okay. So what was we've been so long that I've forgotten what the motion was. Can you
No,
refresh
there
my
hasn't,
memory?
there hasn't been a motion
There hasn't
yet.
been a motion. That's right. We're in discussion.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
in the disciplinary, and I apologize. Your last name again, please?
Kahasa.
Mr. Kahasa showed up. Apparently, you went to the old historic building? Yeah. He showed up and he wanted to speak, so he
No good deed
He
goes
he may,
unpunished.
he may be sorry. Mr. Hassan, you need to I want to make sure you clearly understand, there is a Metro code that requires drivers to give an appropriate company receipt when a customer asks for one. It has no exceptions in there, like if I run out or something of that nature. It says that they have to provide a receipt with the company, there's several other things in there, but it has to have the company name on there. So I think you've heard from everybody today, your company has to make sure your drivers have more than enough receipts,
We will.
okay? Could you get the word out to other companies too? It would make life a lot easier for everybody.
Yeah, some of them, they are here, so
All right,
they will hear it.
just need to make sure that everybody gets the word out. This is a code. In a sense, it's as simple as it's a law that you guys have to follow.
Okay, sorry. So,
I understand. Well, I'm glad you're here. I know you're not, but I'm glad you're. Actually, you have provided some benefit for our consideration of what kind of discipline to do for Mr. Bithu, because you have said you want to continue to employ him. He's had no complaints prior to this one right here, and that's helpful in our considerations today, okay?
okay.
Any other thoughts, questions of these two before we entertain a motion on, and you can have some discussion about what you think is the appropriate sanction before a formal motion gets on the table and is either seconded, not seconded, or voted on.
I agree with the week time served.
Okay, so 1 week suspension and retroactive to the week that he was suspended from the company. Do we have some specifics on that week that he was suspended from the company?
I was just told it had been a week suspension.
Yeah, it is 1 week, but I
Do
don't
you
have
know the dates, though? That would be helpful for us today. Do you know your dates that you were
Yeah,
suspended?
that's as soon as the guy, he complained, as soon as the guy got the complaint from the other guy.
Like, I think
No,
October,
no, no.
the end of October.
Is it after?
Yeah, the end of October.
The complaint did come in October of
Yeah.
2025.
I just was going to try to get very specific as to when it was retroactive to, but maybe if nobody's complaining about it, we won't have to worry about it.
But I
And you were talking about some
intend to agree with
probation.
Mr. Hall.
All right, you not interested in probation anymore?
No, as far as time off, but yes, I would, I think his boss shed some light more on the fact that I think it's more their fault than his, in that he's basically being told by the company he works for that it's okay to do this.
Not the flat rate, though.
No, not the flat rate, not the flat rate, just with the receipt.
No, we never say that.
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
We know, it's okay.
That's the only thing on circumstance. When happens something, is common sense people, the guy he's gonna about to fly, he borrowed to give it to him, that's all.
It's called the
It's not something,
defense of necessity,
it's not, yeah, it's not.
Okay,
Yes.
I understand.
but it's not a defense anymore. So, anyway, is there a motion, Mr. Rogers?
I think so. Tell me if I'm getting this right. I move that we discipline the driver for 1 week suspension, but recognize time served. Although I don't really like doing it, but recognize time served, and let's say 6 months probationary period along with that, beginning with this meeting.
All right.
Does that sound appropriate?
And the time served would be for the time that the company has already suspended it.
Yes, I'm sorry, yes, the 1 week.
Is there a second to the motion?
I second that motion.
All right, discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to figure out if we can hold companies more responsible. I mean, let's face it, the guy admitted he's done it before, and I bet you there are other drivers doing it as well, and I have to wonder if the companies just look the other way.
And we're discussing flat rate.
Yes, I'm sorry, yes. Yeah, if that's a problem, it's a problem because somebody's doing it.
Well, we can't discipline anybody until there's a complaint on our table. So, but I suppose a commissioner could ask for a complaint to be filed, I mean, based upon findings you find during the hearings.
And Chair, just so all the commission knows, these drivers are aware of this problem. These companies are aware of this problem. We have had numerous meetings with them, numerous phone calls with them. They know what's going on. So I just wanted the commission to know that. It is a very, very bad problem.
Okay. I was just trying to picture some sort of public forum that we bring everybody in to put them under oath and start creating the.
You're going to, on complaints that we can verify,
Yeah.
100% that we can verify, you're going to start seeing these drivers in front of this commission.
But
Well, we've done all we can do.
Mr. Rogers is interested in getting the representatives and owners of the companies.
Well, I think I'm agreeing with what you're saying, let's send a message. I mean, but I don't necessarily want to pick this guy as the first messenger. But the second guy better look out.
But from what I understand, Director Rooker and Mr. Sheffley said they've been communicating this message to the owners, and,
They know. We've had
Yeah.
numerous meetings with them about this very thing.
okay. Well, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I have something, but after the vote.
Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Mr. Bichu, do you understand the what has happened here today and the sanctions that have been imposed on you?
Yes.
Okay. Your suspension is retroactive back, or is time served, so to speak, or retroactive back to the week that you were suspended by a volunteer cab. But you are on probation for 6 months starting today.
What does probation mean?
Well, that means that if we get another complaint and he comes before us, then further action can be taken of a more serious nature. And his permit could be suspended, it could be revoked, anything. Okay, gentlemen?
Okay, but
So,
Okay. Yeah.
just clear, you do understand what the chairman just said. So you're not suspended for another week. We are taking the week that the company gave you in consideration, but for 6 months, you're being watched to say that if you do this again, the punishment will be harsh.
Okay.
And it is on record that we have taken a disciplinary action.
Yes.
It's fair.
Director Urca, you look like you have something to say.
Always, Chair.
Oh, come on.
About this subject. I think the commission at some point, and TD and I are doing some work on this as we speak. I think a lot of the problem is that we're running two systems. We're running a meter system, and we're running flat rates from certain destinations to certain destinations. It's very confusing to the consumer. It's very confusing to our visitors. They think a flat fee, if you say from the airport to downtown's $30. Well, on a weekend, they get in and they're being told it's a flat fee from downtown to wherever you go, $30. It's very confusing, and I think at some point we need to look at making a change to that. Either, I'm not sure what that change would be at this point. We are researching it, but I just wanted the commissioners to know, as long as we're, in my opinion, as long as we're doing two kind of systems, it's going to be very confusing to the people who use cabs. We either need to just go to, maybe give them another $1 on their fee or something. You know, we're working all that out right now. It's not anywhere close to being able to come before you. Maybe $1 extra on their meter pool and then do away from the flat fees. That is the only way I think that we're going to be able to stop this.
Makes sense. Thank you. All right,
Mr.
Commissioner.
Chairman, the comment I wanted to make is that we, Metro and our commission are required to comply within the state framework that is set up. And because ride shares by state law are treated differently, there is also this conflict. And it's not, I don't know that it's necessarily the way I would if I were in charge and regulating, but we have to work within what the state has told us to do so that transportation from one spot to another is treated differently and there are different rules. So if you choose to be a cab driver and you comply and get your license, you're going to have to follow those rules. If you're under the OPV, a different set. So that was just.
And I do want to applaud the fact that you have been operating for nearly 16 years without any incident and that your employer still wants to keep you. That speaks highly to the service you provided to this community. So thank you. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Can we, before we launch into the public hearing part, I'd like to take a 5 or 10 minute break if we don't mind.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. ready to get started again? Yes, sir. Ms. Sheffley? I would first point out that we've already had a public hearing on this, didn't we?
Yes, sir. We had a public hearing back in September.
Okay.
And the commission chose to defer this and not take it up after the public hearing. We thought we would bring it back in front of you to give you another option. This is a rule that would require companies that do not have a smart meter in their cabs to have the rates posted on the outside of their vehicles.
So I will reopen the public hearing for a very, very limited reopening of the public hearing. If there's anyone who wants to comment about the rule changing regarding section 2 of MTLC rule, section 238. All right, seeing no one wants to speak, oh, someone's up. I'll ask you to identify yourself, and we're going to try to limit this to about 2 minutes per person. And what company you're with, okay?
My name is Abdurrazak Diri, TankCab, German. So I would like to change the mirror to put in the outside, the rate for display the outside of the car. Because of that, the overcharge we see in the city, we try to help in the customer. They can see before the car drive the destination and go in. So that's my suggestion.
So you're in favor of to put the rates on the outside of the vehicle?
Absolutely, yes, that is, you have it. I think that is how I
All right,
design it. Some cars even already I put in, but I wait in the commission approve it.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate your input today.
You're welcome, thank you. That's it.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, going once, twice, 3 times. We're going to go ahead and close the public hearing.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks, we now have the proposal for the change to section 238. We've had some discussion back in September. Director Rooker, do you want to just give us your input of whether you favor it or what your thoughts are?
Yes, sir. I favor anything that's going to help us and help our tourists to know when they're flat feed and when they are run a meter. The meter has to be run no matter where you are, unless you're leaving the airport going to Opryland, you're leaving Opryland to go to the airport, you're leaving Opryland to come to downtown, or you're going to the airport from West End and back. This is very confusing. You can see the flat rates up on your screen now. It's very confusing to the public if they're downtown and they are told it's a flat rate. People that come in from the airport probably think that's the case. You know, it's a flat rate, as I discussed earlier. We're looking for any mechanism we can. We think this will help if people can see it on the outside of the meter. It's supposed to be posted in the vehicle, but it's a very small little, card that's up on the front of the meter. I don't know if TD can pull one up. There it is. It's a taxi rate sheet. This is in the vehicle on the dashboard, supposed to be, and it tells you. But as you can tell, just looking at it from the screen, it's very difficult to see. It's very difficult to read from the back seat of a cab. We're looking for any measure, anything we can do to identify and help people identify when they're having a flat rate and when they're supposed to be using the meters. The only time flat rates apply are from airport to these areas back to the airport, and from Opryland to downtown. Any other ride has to be a metered ride. So we're just trying to.
Is this not posted in the airport?
It is posted in the airport, yes, sir.
So were they pick taxis up in the ride share? This is posted?
I'm pretty
Is
sure
it
it is.
posted anywhere at Opryland? I mean, because these are very specific destinations, and it's not that many.
No, it's not. It's very few.
And so it seems like if we, in the same way that we put a handicap sign up or a no parking sign, this is pretty clear
We're even-
on the screen where it says flat rates. And you can't just pick up anywhere. It's a very specific area that you have to pick up and drop off.
Yes, sir.
Do we not have some type of cooperation, or does not NDOT have an easement in those areas where that can be posted with even out, Opryland not even agreeing to it?
Well, we can ask Opryland to do it. I don't know that it's been done in the past.
Well, even in the airport.
It's posted at the airport. It is posted at the airport. We're just looking for any way to, I mean, we're going downtown to the merchants meetings and trying to get merchants to post it in the honky tonks in their restaurants, and we're doing everything we can to let people understand that, and the
Are you
complaints.
getting any pushback from that? Are they
Oh, no, sir.
agreeing to it?
They're just, show us a design, we'll help you any way we can. It's all cooperative. But the, part of the problem is the flat fee from the airport. And there is no telling how many times this is happening, and we just don't know about it. Nobody's complaining about it. I think you're getting 0.1% of complaints that are coming into our office, and people just think that's what it is from when they're leaving downtown going to a hotel. So, I mean, downtown to a hotel close by, it's probably a 5-minute ride and a $10 rate. They're paying $30 to get there, and they think that's what they're supposed to do.
5-minute ride, what time of day?
I was just throwing a time out there, maybe 20-minute ride. So we're looking for any tool we can have to use smart meters. I know I've seen demonstrations of smart meters and how they work. They're just like the Uber and Lyft. You know, if you call one of the cab companies and they have a smart meter, it tells you what your rate's going to be and how much it's going to be to get from point A to point B.
You mean like Z-Trip?
Yes, sir, like Z-Trip, of which we never get a complaint on. So.
This doesn't have to do with the merits of putting it on the outside of the cab, but what is West End and what is downtown? I mean, I know what West End is, but is it from 440 to 440? Anywhere from there, it's a $30 ride, or?
Fixing to pull it up for you here, I think.
Okay. It's defined somewhere?
Yeah, it does define what is West End and what is Broadway. I believe once you get, I don't want to say this because it may be wrong, but I think once you get to Vanderbilt or close to Vanderbilt, it turns into West End.
So 21st Avenue South.
21st Avenue South.
And then
Interesting.
the same thing for, it says Opryland Music Valley. Is that just anything on Music Valley Drive?
Yes,
like
sir.
the hotels? Would that apply to like
Hotels, restaurants.
anything? Would that apply to the hotels on like McGavick Pike?
It says
Not
commercial
just Music
addresses.
Valley Drive. No, sir. Only Music Valley Drive.
There's actually, the 5-minute ride you're talking about, there's at least half a dozen hotels that are almost walking distance from the airport that are just across the interstate.
What the industries will tell you is if they're downtown and they're having to go even to a hotel that's very close, with the traffic and the congestion and everything, it takes 15 minutes to go a mile and a half, 2 miles. I don't know that to be true, but it is crowded down there, so probably some truth to it.
Well, I can say that some of my fellow workers that work part-time at the Ryman, when they're trying to leave, and if all the shows are letting out all the venues, I've had coworkers it's taken more than an hour to get out of the parking garage to just get onto the street to head home.
Any further discussion? Can we entertain a motion?
I move approval of the proposed language to section 238, exterior meter fare and flat rate display.
Second.
Any further discussion before we vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Maybe we're chipping away at the problem of the flat rate, the illegal flat rates.
Yes, sir.
With the posting on the outside of the vehicles and the smart meters getting more and more adopted. And I wanted to make sure everybody understood that this, if they have a smart meter in the vehicle, they don't have to have the rates posted on the outside of the vehicle.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
So that's what we just passed.
We're doing everything we can to push these companies to smart meters. We've even asked this commission to mandate it, which you chose not to do, and that's fine. But,
That wasn't very sincere.
no, it wasn't. I'm sorry. I apologize. That was a very bad effort at being, cordial. No, but, yeah, we're just doing everything. This is a very, very large, widespread problem for our commission and for our office.
Do you want to take up the RFQ update?
Yes, sir. We have the dockless RFQ that we've discussed in this commission coming up. That's for the e-bikes and the scooters. Our contract with those companies expires June the 9th of 2026. NDOT staff drafted this RFQ and submitted, we worked with MTA WeGo as well in drafting that RFQ and submitted it to procurement. It has been assigned to Daniel Drumright, who we've worked with in the past in procurement, to be published. Spoke with Daniel last week. He expects it to be published prior to our April meeting, at which time we will ask you to approve the final form of that RFQ. From there, it will go into evaluation. Once evaluated, we'll ask you to approve the intent to award to the companies chosen out of that RFQ. Finally, there will be contract negotiations, and the contract will come back to you for the companies chosen out of that RFQ. Wanted to give you the update, just to transparently let you know where we are with that, and open to any questions you might have.
It will all be completed by June of '26.
If it is not, I've inquired with procurement of what is our process. It would be an emergency extension of the current contract. I am hopeful, perhaps optimistic at this point, that we'll get it done by June the 9th. But we should be on your agenda in April with it already published for you to make that approval. And then from there, we will evaluate and hopefully by May, come back to you with our intent to award, leaving the contract negotiations to occur by your June meeting.
Mr. Rogers?
No, don't.
Don't take any bets that you get it done by June. I'm sure you, if you can get it done, I mean, I'll buy you a beer. I'll buy you several beers.
Well, I guess my concern
Enough
is,
motivation for me.
you said June 9th,
That's correct.
but our June meeting is on,
June 16th.
and there's no issue with that timing?
The timeline is coming up on us, and from a staff perspective, we have submitted what we need to submit, and we are working with procurement to get through this process that we need to get through.
But again, if it expires on the 9th, but we don't meet until later, that dead period is,
It will require an emergency extension of the current contracts.
So we might have to do that in May, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've begun that process.
Yeah. So when would a copy of it be available for public review, I guess?
So my understanding of the process is that procurement must first make public that RFQ, put it out, which I understand should happen near the end of this month, the beginning of April. So it'll be public at that point, and then it'll be for you at your April meeting to approve that. It was again written by several of my colleagues at NDOT. We worked with MTA WeGo as well, and so we're looking forward to seeing it public.
And as long as we're discussing it, what's happened with the docked bike share process, which has been going for, 2 years now, approximately?
My understanding is that contract is still under negotiation. I've been in meetings as recently as last week about what's going on there, and continuing to work through the issues in that contract to come to a conclusion of that
If
issue.
you can't answer, you don't have to. Who's negotiating? I mean, I know the company side, who's negotiating for Metro?
Metro Legal, the mayor's office is involved, procurement's involved, and most recently, NDOT and some of my colleagues there have been
So
involved as well.
lots of cooks in the kitchen.
Yes, sir.
Director Worker, do we have any other business today?
No other business, sir, but we're at the point where we have to do application review, so we're going to be required to go off there.
Let me just ask the other commissioners whether they have any other business today to bring up. All right, so we will close the meeting then. huh? All right,
Close the recording.
close the recording, yes, thank you.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.
Sorry to disagree with you, sir, but we're technically